President Putin, there are reports today in the American press that the Trump administration took active steps to ease sanctions on Russia almost immediately after Trump took office. Was this possibility ever discussed between the Trump team and your representatives prior to President Trump being inaugurated?
Вы знаете, я видел то, что происходило.
No, I saw what was happening. To be frank, it was a great surprise. It's just absurd what they're saying. I don't know where these people have come from that distribute this kind of information. It's a catastrophe. Our ambassador has met someone. And what is an ambassador supposed to do? That's what he gets money for. He has to hold meetings, have discussions about the current state of affairs, to seek agreement. What do you expect him to do? Do you think he has to join himself and go to those institutions for visiting which he is going to be expelled from job? No. This is his job. He's accused of meeting someone. It's absurd to accuse him of that. It's diplomatic service. It's astounding.
Live satellite news.
President Trump's aide was dismissed. He was accused of agreeing with someone on something. Well, those people who disagree with me will never believe what I will say right now, but I had never known anything about it. I'd never known about anyone meeting anywhere. We never agreed on anything. We simply said that we've got to think about how we should build our relations. Shouldn't we think about that? Shouldn't we do that deliberately and not just recklessly? So, you see, it's surprising. This is some sort of hysteria. And this hysteria never seems to stop. Maybe someone has a pill that is going to cure this hysteria. Honestly, it's surprising. No. My answer is no. No agreements whatsoever. We never even get down to that. Never had the time to start the negotiations.
Let's talk about those sanctions, which have now been in place by the Europeans and by the United States since 2014 against Russia. Do you believe they've hurt more than helped?
I think, to start with, these sanctions go in contravention to all international norms and regulations. The US has always advocated the freedom of market, the openness of economy. For a very long time, the US has taught everyone they have to learn themselves that the world economy shouldn't affect the economy because it's going to interfere with it, but they has done exactly what they admonished everyone against doing. Everything that has happened, everything that triggered and caused the introduction of these restrictions was not due to our policy. It was due to the policy the US had been pursuing. Have a look. They used to talk about the greater Middle East. No one knew exactly what it was. Then Iraq was all but ruined. Libya as well. Syria was destroyed virtually. Egypt was destabilized, as well as Tunisia, let alone the processes that are underway in such countries as Somalia. Afterwards, they crawled very close to the post-Soviet space. They say that almost $5 billion was spent on supporting the opposition in Ukraine. A coup d'etat was supported. But what is this? It implies supporting an armed seizure of power. When we disagreed with this approach, sanctions were introduced against us. We'll never be able to accept what happened there, and we'll never do that when we granted our support to the Russian people and to people who think they're close to the Russian-speaking world and Crimea. When we supported people who were intimidated by anti-Russian propaganda as well as by
You're watching live satellite news.